Senior Bowl practices are underway ahead of Saturday's game, and we're talking about some of the 2021 NFL draft prospects that are essentially beginning the interview process for future employment opportunities. I'm Mariah Janos, joined by Evan Lazar. Evan, obviously here in New England, we care about quarterbacks, considering our current predicament. We've talked about Mac Jones in the past. Another guy that's been turning heads at the Senior Bowl practices is Wake Forest quarterback Jamie Newman. What can you tell us about that?
You're right. So Jamie Newman transferred from Wake Forest to Georgia, but he never actually played at Georgia because he opted out of the 2020 season due to the pandemic. So this is actually our first exposure to Jamie Newman since the 2019 season. So very big week for him because he has no tape in 2020. So this is sort of his opportunity to solidify his draft stock. So who is Jamie Newman? He's a dual threat quarterback. And although we talk a lot about Justin Fields and Trey Lance, and rightfully so at the top of the draft, and Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson can move around too, Jamie Newman's probably like your discount version of one of those guys, a guy that you can probably get it on day 2, maybe early day 3 if he lasts that long. And he has the arm talent. He certainly has mobility to his repertoire, but his passing, I would say, is still a work in progress. There's a little bit of a hitch in his release. There's some situations where his narrowing of his base, his feet get a little bit narrow at his release, and his accuracy down the field suffers as a result. But he certainly has the arm strength and the arm talent to make pretty much any type of throw that you want him to make, and he can really, really run. So there's a lot to like about Jamie Newman. I wasn't crazy about his 2019 tape because, when you look at quarterbacks, I want to see that smooth delivery. I don't want to see a guy that looks like he's kind of struggling to get the ball out. And I thought that at times with Jamie Newman was an issue, but maybe he has cleaned that up. It looks like in the Senior Bowl, he's thrown the ball pretty well down at practice. So we'll see what he looks like in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Happy New Year from Manscaped, by the way. Nothing says clean slate quite like being properly groomed. So now's your chance to get 20% off and free shipping using the code PressPass20 at manscaped.com. This doesn't apply to me, but I can speak for the women out there. It's definitely appreciated. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code PressPass20. Take the leap and join the Manscaped movement today. Now back to the Senior Bowl. I digress. Who else has caught your eye so far?
I don't even know how to recover after that, but in terms of who's caught my eye at the Senior Bowl, there's a lot of wide receivers that have played very, very well in Mobile, and this is a showcase where they love to run a ton of one-on-one drills and just kind of show off these wide receivers' talents. And the name that I'm going to throw out there, though, is somebody that we all already know about, and it's Cadarius Toney from Florida, who I think was probably, for my money, the best player at the Senior Bowl this year, besides maybe Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama, who didn't work out. He was just there kind of for the interview process and things like that, along with Devontae Smith. So I think the biggest thing you see with Toney, though, is 3-level speed. And what we're talking about with 3-level speed is that he can be a vertical route runner, but you can also give him the ball behind the line of scrimmage in scheme touch situations like end arounds, jet sweeps, motion passes out of the backfield or on the move, sort of like how the Chiefs use Tyreek Hill. And he's one of those guys that's really, really explosive, and then after the catch has great contact balance and elusiveness to make guys miss in the open field. So I'm really excited about the prospects of bringing in a guy like Toney, because the Patriots really haven't had somebody, they had Brandon Cooks, who's that vertical stretch guy. They obviously had Randy Moss back in the day, but they haven't had somebody that you can just give the ball to behind the line of scrimmage and watch them make everybody miss and score a touchdown, right? That they haven't really had that type of player before. And he's somebody in Toney that I think can really do pretty much anything you want from a vertical threat. So he's been the best player down there, I think, just in terms of athletic ability, explosiveness, and showcasing those talents. The other name that I do want to mention is on the defensive side of the ball, and that is Aaron Robinson, and also Richie Grant, both from UCF, who are 2 defensive backs that have played really, really well. Physical, strappy man coverage type of guys. Grant can also play deep safety if you want him to play there. He can play some zone coverage too. So 2 guys from the UCF. Robinson was an Alabama transfer that ended up there. They would have, I think, especially Robinson, done extremely well at the combine if there was a combine this year. So look out for those 2 guys. The wide receivers, there's like 10 of them that have performed really well. I could talk about a bunch of them, and obviously the quarterbacks are going to be big too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you have it. A few guys to keep your eye on Saturday. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.